Despite the market rally at the end of the week, my portfolio is still down. Stay tuned and I'll go over the details with you. I'm on the hunt for an infinite stream of dividend income. It begins with my plan to turn $1,000 of Robinhood's money into $1,000 of my money. And remember, this is for entertainment only. This is not financial, legal, or tax advice. So let's get started. So the equity in my portfolio was down about 0.41% this past week, landing me at $2,114. Now remember, this value represents the equity that I have in the portfolio. I own PAAA outright, and that makes up the majority of the value you see here. That amount is then offset by the amount that I've lost in my margin loan. Remember, I took out a $1,000 margin loan, and the equity in that has gone down. So when you combine that with my PAAA shares, we get this value of $2,114. The good news is that even though the amount went down this week, I did get out of margin high-risk territory. I'm 5.41% above my maintenance requirement of $2,000, which puts me in the low-risk category. I still have to top off the account with $2.68 in dividends that I've received that I have not been able to reinvest yet. So let's take a look at the distributions this week. NVYY paid me almost 40 cents per share, a slight increase from the previous week, and this represents about a 99% annualized return rate. This ETF has been very consistent with the yield, both in the dollar amount per week and in the percentage. I invested $2.21 of this dividend into SPY and $2.22 back into NVYY. COIW paid me about 36 cents per share for $1.81. That represents about an 81% annualized rate. 91 cents was reinvested into SPY with some other dividends. The 90 cents that's supposed to go back into COIW has to sit until next week so that I'll have at least $1 to reinvest. Moving over to HOOW and SNOY, HOOW paid me over $1 per share this week for $2.15. That works out to about a 100% annualized rate. And that seems to be kind of in the middle of what the previous weekly distributions have looked like. SNOY only paid me 10 cents per share for a total of only $1.78. That only represents about a 44% yield. I haven't had a chance to reinvest it, but I'll have to wait an entire week until I get the next dividend to add it to this one before I can reinvest in SNOY. Here's a look at the 5-day chart to see how things went this week. I've also added QQQ just for comparison purposes. You can see the Qs were up about 0.25% over the week. SNOY was up about 1.8%. HOOW led the way up almost 3%. COIW had a bad week, down almost 9%. And NVYY was down about 1.5%. Let's zoom out a little bit and check out the 1-month returns. Here again for comparison, QQQ is pretty flat, up almost 3%. What really catches my attention in these two graphs are SNOY down almost 15% with a really bad day in early December, and COIW down 11%, trailing off in the last week or two. NVYY has also been bad, sort of trending downwards over this 1-month time period. HOOW has done the best at times. Here you can see it was up almost 15% over the 1-month period, but fell off really significantly in around December 10th during the market sell-off, and it just hasn't been able to recover from that. If we zoom out to 6 months, we see a massive loss for COIW, down over 52%, with NVYY minus 28% and SNOY minus 25%, also looking poorly. Of the funds in my account, HOOW is the only one that's up over this 6-month period. Here's a look at my total return summary. My 4 high-yield ETFs are down about 35%, which is an improvement from last week where I believe we were down about 41%. SPY is worth $147, so when you combine that with the 4 high-yield ETFs, overall the account is down about 20%. I don't include the value of PAAA and its profit or loss in that negative 20% calculation. This week ended pretty well in the market, and I'm hoping the Santa rally will continue for another week or two, and I can start 2026 in better shape. The experiment will continue, and I'll keep you updated. If you found this breakdown helpful or entertaining, please hit the like button and subscribe for future updates. And remember, none of this is financial, legal, or tax advice. I'm just inviting you along my journey. And if you'd like to learn more about my small account margin strategy, check out the first 5 videos in the series. And as always, good luck hunting those infinite dividends. Take care.